Good morning, and Tashi Delek. For those of you who follow Tibet or human rights, there's really no need for introduction of Congressman Jim McGovern. Even before he was elected as a representative in 1989, Congressman Jim McGovern investigated the murder of 6 Jesuit priests by the US-backed Salvadoran military. Congressman McGovern back then he is, and continues to be a champion for human rights, a voice for the voiceless, and an active activist for the good fight. First elected in Congress in 1996, Congressman McGovern has tirelessly worked for the people of Massachusetts and has earned the national reputation of being a vigorous advocate for his district and a champion for food security, human rights, campaign finance reforms, social justice, and peace. For the last 7 years, Congressman McGovern has participated in the Montes March, walking 43 miles from Springfield to Greenfield in the cold New England weather to raise awareness about hunger in the community and money to feed those in need. This past fall, despite the coronavirus pandemic restrictions, Congressman McGovern and his team succeeded in raising a record $614,577 for the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts. Congressman McGovern is the chairman of the powerful House Rules Committee. He also is the chairman of the Congressional Executive Commission on China and co-chairs the bipartisan Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, both of which monitor and investigate international human rights abuses and recommend how the US should foster respect for democratic values abroad. In November 2015, Congressman McGovern visited Tibet along with Speaker Nancy Pelosi as part of a congressional delegation to visit firsthand the situation inside occupied Tibet. A few years later, in 2017, Congressman McGovern also visited Dharamsala and met with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the top leadership of the Central Tibetan Administration. On December 19, 2018, the historic Reciprocal Access to Tibet bill, which Congressman McGovern authored and introduced, was signed into law. This was the first ever standalone bill on Tibet and denies Chinese government officials access to the United States if they are responsible for creating or implementing restrictions on American government officials and citizens' access to Tibet. While applauding the successful passage of this historic bill, Congressman McGovern said, and I quote, "With this bill, we are taking an important step forward on behalf of the human rights of Tibetans. We are reaffirming our support for the leadership of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and we are sending a message to the government of China that human rights are not negotiable. Supporting human rights is the moral thing to do, it is the right thing to do, and it is the American thing to do for Tibetans in China and everywhere else in the world," unquote. Likewise, 2 years, another historic bill on Tibet, the Tibetan Policy and Support Act, once again authored and introduced by Congressman McGovern, was also signed into law on December 27, 2020. This bill, which further updates and strengthens the Tibetan policy of 2002, among other significant provisions, makes it official US policy that the Dalai Lama's succession is strictly a religious matter that only His Holiness the Dalai Lama and his followers can decide without the interference from the Chinese government. It is now my honor to invite Congressman Jim McGovern to give today's keynote address. Congressman Jim McGovern.